we gotta talk about saturation, and this is really the gem here. We can use saturation to reduce the dynamic range of a single instrument, glue multiple instruments together, and or make overall composite melodies louder. It also adds harmonics that affect the sound design of your melody, and if you know anything about dynamics, then you know that all of this is basically just the same thing. And if you don't know anything about it, don't worry, bro. You can pretend it's magic and it'll still work exactly the same, gang. The only thing you need to know is that saturation is the result of overloading the physical components of analog gear. It's a type of compression speaking from a purely physical perspective, and it's similar to clipping, kinda. But that's about as simple as I can explain it without venturing into the realm of nerd yap. So peep this newsletter on my blog if you want to learn more about it and the ways that I use it. For an example here, I'll use Radiator, a tube amp saturator, and I'll leave this blog post underneath for those interested in a breakdown of the VST.
Something I like about saturation is that warmth that it adds increases the loudness by reducing the dynamic range of the signal it's applied to. And that's actually measurable through this thing called crest factor. Now, the more crest factor you have, the more dynamic range, the less loud, and the less of that saturation and warmth we're getting. And so we're going to use Radiator to decrease that crest factor along with adding a nice tasteful amount of that warmth. So first, meter, and we'll play the melody. So around that 13.1, now I'm gonna just bring on Radiator. And once you understand how to use it, tweaking it is awesome, but the presets are just as good because of what it's emulated after. And I love a lot of the time to start with this vocal warmer preset, and I'll just turn off the noise and kind of play it. So actually, let's just take a look at the crest factor now on the meter, and we can see that clearly went down. And just listen to the brightness of the melody now overall, how it's glued together. So we could even do a bypass test, right? So I'm about to turn it off right now. Now I'm about to turn it back on. And you can tweak the macros to get just so much more out of it. Like maybe I want a little bit more treble impulse response right there. And maybe even a little bit more on bass and a little bit more mix overall.